Good afternoon, everyone. I am CA Nisha Suyal Agrawal, and I welcome you all on our first episode of Women Achievers Program. Team CASA has started this special series known as Women Achievers Program, where we are recognizing the marvelous women in our fraternity. We are inviting women chartered accountants whose lives and stories have inspired us. Fortunately, today we have with us CA Maloo Natarajan, who is the chairperson FICCI Flow Mumbai. Thank you so much, Maloo ma'am, for accepting our invitation and gracing us with your presence.
Thank you.
We also have Dr. D.S. Rawat with us today. Sir is a chartered accountant by profession, having 35 plus years of experience in financial reporting and advisory, and is the auditor of big financial institutions and banks. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, I would request founder of CASA, CA Sumit Garg to please say a few words.
Thank you, Nishaji, for wonderful coordination and start of this first episode of Women's Achievers Program. And once again, welcome to one of the guest faculty of the very first program, CA Maloo Natarajan ji. Welcome to you, ma'am, on this
Thank
platform.
you. Thank you so much.
And our guest of honor, CA Dr. DS Rawat ji, sir, welcome to you on this platform. And definitely, we will share your thoughts and your uh, topics on the very different topic, rather, I should say, because after organizing so many webinars in during this year in lockdown, we have organized almost 200 plus webinars during this year only. So after this, uh, I have decided to especially guide the female members in the profession, where our, as Rawat sir discussed offline, our strength in the profession for the female member, especially for the female member, has increased around 30% plus. So definitely, women should also get some knowledge, guidance, and achievement so that they can get the place in the society, in the profession, and everywhere. So we have started this the very first program, Women's Achievers Program, in which and definitely we will share thoughts and ask some important questions regarding our professional achievements, regarding social and ICI involvements, and various other topics, so that every female member can achieve, can guide, and can learn so many things. So with this, once again, welcome to all members, and continuously showing faith on this Team CASA platform for the knowledge imparting, because knowledge is power. And once again, welcome to you. Now I hand over to Nisha. Over to you.
Thank you, Sumit ji. I welcome every one of you on this very first episode of our Women Achievers Program. Now, I would request Dr. D.S. Rawat sir to please say a few words.
Thank you, Nisha and Sumit ji and Maloo ji. Yes, that's, I think that the CASA has started this program, and I think it's very welcome program and a very good decision that you are encouraging, giving some thoughts to the women's candidates here and who have done very good in their field. Rather than you are generally, we chartered accountants are only think about only over the accounts and audit and taxes, and this is a very good step. I think that we should also think the 50% of our society's part, that what they are doing and how they should be encouraged to come up to do our professions. So as the Sumit ji had told that there are around more than 30% of the chartered accounts and women candidates now, and out of the total membership, maybe around 4 lakhs or somewhere. So out of that, if 30% are women, I think it's a very sizable one. When we passed a CA in 1983, at that time it was very negligible, and there were no women who are being seen in these professions. But now I see, because during I am a practicing chartered accountant, and now I see that the half of our the 50% of more than our articles who are doing the CA are the women's. So they are girls, they are coming up, and I thought that, and what I am observing, that they pass better than the boys, and they are coming up in these professions in a very speed way, and they are better suited to this profession in the nowadays in the changing scenario of this technology, and especially when we nowadays after this COVID, because now the we have devised and our Institute of Chartered Accountants was already thinking about it, that how the women chartered accountants should be encouraged to do the work from home. But now after this COVID, everybody is thinking whether it's a man or woman working from home. I think it better suits now, that I think that has given the opportunity to women candidate, that now the environment is in their favor, because of their their obligation on the homes, and how to maintain their houses to their children's. Because of that, they were not able to come to the offices, and I have seen some of the chartered accountants, the women chartered accountants, who have left this profession because they have got a obligation as a woman in their houses and their homes. So now they can work from the homes, because now this COVID has given us an opportunity. I think that is, it should be seen as an opportunity to the women chartered accountants now, because of this COVID, and the most of the peoples are now working from the home. I have because the our professions, the dynamics of our professions and the working environment, and all these workings have changed so dramatically in the last 5 6 days after the digitalizations of the economy, that now the women's candidates has found their better environment for working. So I feel that we should encourage, and I think, now it is not the encouragement, but they themselves are coming up very fast, the women candidate, and they are working better in our offices also, and they are interacting with the client in a very good way. And the example is that you seeing here, that Maloo is here, the Nisa is here. These are all, I think that the all women's candidate chartered accountants must see these two faces at least in our program, that how they have come up, and they are doing very good in their professions in that. So thank you. I again thank the CASA that they have invited me for this purpose, and they have taken a very good steps of doing such a programs in the environment of that, when we professional only think about the accounting and taxes, no, and you have thought something different. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Madam, hundreds of CA professionals are live with us today, watching this show on YouTube, and this number will cross 1,000 by this weekend. So, before inviting Maloo ji, let me read out her profile to all. Ms. Maloo Natarajan is a chartered accountant with a strong background complemented with real world experience of working with DBS, Citibank, Hewlett Packard, and Oracle. Ma'am is a power woman who wears many hats. She is an investor, banker, and an entrepreneur. She is the chairperson of Wikiflow Mumbai and has a unique mix of experience combining technology, operations, digital transformation, and risk management with a strong track record of managing and delivering complex programs. Ma'am has worked across multiple geographies with an aptitude to address cultural diversity. She has spent over 11 years in Singapore and London. Ma'am is associated with the financial sector for over 25 years on different management and leadership roles. She is also associated with the fintech community in Singapore, including mentoring the startups and being part of the judging panels. Ma'am is the co-founder of Par Excellence Pte. Limited, which focuses on building youth for the future through innovation and entrepreneurship by conducting hackathons and thinkathons, financial literacy, internship, and mentoring programs. Maluji is also the elected chairperson for Youth Mentorship for All Ladies League Singapore. So, friends, please join me in welcoming CA Maloo Natarajan ji on our first episode of Women Achievers Program. Ma'am, over to you.
I think ma'am has disconnected. She is just joining again.
Just a minute.
In the meantime, she is again joining. I request to all participants that if you have any suggestion and any guidance for improvement in the future and any suggested topic to be discussed in our future shows, so you can message me directly. Uh,
Yes,
Yeah.
here we have ma'am again.
Oh, it was just me?
Yes, ma'am. Now over to
Oh,
you. I just
okay.
gave your brief introduction to the audience.
Thank you. Sorry, I got locked out. I don't know why. But anyway, good evening. And thank you to CASA, Dr. Rawat, Mr. Sumit, and especially Nisha for reaching out and inviting me for this beautiful session. It is so wonderful to address all the young chartered accountants. In fact, I did my chartered accountancy many, many years ago. Maybe a few of you were not even born then. I grew up in a generation where you could either be an engineer, a doctor, and in the worst case, a chartered accountant. We were told when I was growing up that it is important to have a professional qualification. And you won't believe it, I took up CA because I thought I was not good in math. But I completed my exam successfully very quickly and started enjoying the numbers as well. In the beginning, I knew that I was not geared for to start a practice of my own. And so I jumped into the space that was buzzing with excitement in those days, which is information technology. Those days, companies were looking for chartered accountants to help develop accounting packages. That got me an opportunity to get into the banking sector, and then I've not looked back ever since. And it is certainly good to have a very strong foundation in any subject that you take up, and it gives you a freedom to move around in your career, especially finance, which is absolutely essential in every sphere of our lives. To talk a little bit about the organization that I'm chairing right now, it is the FICCI's organized. FICCI stands for the Industrial Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and FLOW happens to be a vertical that promotes women empowerment, primarily to ensure that women are financially independent. So we have a number of chapters. We have about 17 chapters. We have about 8,000 members, all women members who are professionals, entrepreneurs, and from family managed businesses. And we encourage entrepreneurship in the urban, semi-urban, and the rural space. So the question that I'm normally asked about this forum is, do we really need a separate forum for women, or should it be a common one? And my belief is that for a few more years, I guess we need something for women, more for promoting networking, to help support each other as professionals and to market ourselves better. So when you find time, check out our website. It's an interesting organization for professionals to meet and interact with others as well. Nisha?
Yeah. So, ma'am, this is going to be a candid discussion type program. We all
Sure.
are very excited to listen to your stories, your learnings, your success mantra, or how you overcome your fears. So, let me start this episode by asking you the very first question. Ma'am, you started your career as a chartered accountant, and then you moved on to different roles across different industries. So, I wanted to ask you, who inspired you, and why or how?
Very tricky question to start with, but two names come to my mind. My sister has always been my role model ever since the beginning of my childhood, and I always look up to her for advice and for the way she's been leading her life. The other person is Durba Banerjee. Again, I don't think many of you would know her. She is the first woman commercial pilot in India. The reason why I admire this lady is that she managed to break the stereotype and go after her dream, which must have been very difficult in those days. So my belief is not to get stuck with one idea or do what everyone else is doing. You should rather follow your passion. And if you strongly believe in something that you want, you will certainly get it. So that's one of the reasons why she used to be my role model when I was growing up.
Okay. So the next question I would like to ask you is, have you ever felt in your career that women in profession like ours have a hard time getting promoted?
Um, what comes to mind is a famous quote by George Orwell. He says, all are equal, but some are more equal than others. And that very clearly and aptly defines gender equality in India. This is a known issue and has been around for many generations now. So having said that, things have progressed quite a bit in the few years, over the last few years especially. But the pace, I guess we wanted to be a bit faster. Each of us have a role to play to ensure that the gap doesn't exist over the next few years. I think we have a role to play as well. The way I look at this, Nisha, is there are two ways of looking at it. We can play the victim, complain about the patriarchy system in the past, blame the men, blame the society. Or we can look at it as women who can make some changes and work towards changing the gap that we have today. So let me focus on the second option of what is it that we can do as women to change this situation and talk about introspection. So, we've played a role of a victim for a long time, rightly so, but time to look at certain flaws or certain weaknesses that we have and how we can improve on it. Let me start with the first one. The first one is our inability in general to market ourselves. We've been very weak at that. We do our job and we believe the job is going to speak for itself and we walk away. But believe me, it does not. And I learned it the hard way. And I think a lot of women are still struggling with this. Also, what comes to my mind is when I did my CA and I was looking for a job, the comparison was between a chartered accountant and an MBA from IIM or any of those institutions. MBAs were groomed to speak well, to market themselves, while most of our CAs were exceptionally good in our job, but we didn't know how to market it. So I know things have changed now, but that was the situation then. And especially in this age of social media and information overdose, setting the right perception and marketing ourselves a little bit would definitely take us a long way, I guess. The second one is around networking. We complain that, men network either in the golf course or while smoking or other venues, and that helps them with the promotion. My question is, what is stopping us from creating our own network and then building up, talking to our peers, identifying mentors, and moving on? And also within organizations and outside, like CASA, we have a lot of forums which are profession-based, tech-based, for bankers, for HR. I think we should all get into these kind of forums because it gives you an insight of what's happening at the market, who are your peers, and how can you need to identify your mentors. You definitely will find mentors out there. These are steps that I guess we need to take as well. And the third point is to tell ourselves it is okay to be imperfect. We believe in perfection all the time. Everything has to be 100% for us. And we also tend to micromanage a lot of times, paying attention to details, which is okay, but we should not miss out the bigger picture. So that is the concern that I have. And it is okay that if you're not perfect all the time, and also to say, I don't know once in a while is okay. We should not be too hard on ourselves. And the last point before I pass it on to you is, women need to support and promote each other, and which is another area that we really, really need to look at. We need female solidarity to support each other to succeed and narrow the gap. By the way, there is no glass ceiling. It is a myth. We have had many role models proving that sky is the limit. Just to summarize the answer to your question, yes, we have not reached gender equality, and we need to take it up upon ourselves and work on how we as women can improve the situation. Nisha?
Hello, Misa.
I'm so sorry. I think I got disconnected. Yeah, is it? I think I'm in now.
Okay.
Okay. So, ma'am, the next question I would like to ask you is, do you experience resistance when you are leading men?
No, I have not experienced that. And actually, it's wonderful to have a team with a balance of men and women. I've never faced an issue, and men bring in a different perspective to a problem and can sometimes be refreshing. Again, I'm not saying it does not exist, but look at it differently. I mean, if there is resistance, you can get it from men or you can get it from women as well. So we just need to change our leadership style and move on. And also over the years, I've noticed that women's perception of themselves is going through a remarkable shift. So women have become more confident about what they can offer or bring to the table. We've learned through experience the value of female solidarity and support. We've become more confident enlisting men as allies, and just as men have become more open to being our allies as well. So we need to start looking at a team as a team of professionals and not as men and women. I think we have to cross that bridge. We are doing it, but there is still a gap there.
Okay, okay. So, ma'am, you have such an infectious smile and is full of energy always. And you wear different hats. You are an entrepreneur, investor, banker. So, maybe know your secret, or let me ask, what is your success mantra, or what keeps you going?
I guess I don't have a single mantra, but what I believe is to dream big, and with passion, perseverance, and patience, you will get wherever you want to.
Thank you, thank you. Ma'am, 70% of the women in our profession can't come back after, 3 to 5 years of their married life. So, would you like to say something to these talented professionals who wish to but cannot?
Yeah, I agree with it. I also wrote an article sometime back about women coming back to the workspace. I'd mentioned that unless you're a celebrity, unless you're a Serena Williams or an Aishwarya Rai, coming back to the workplace is going to be pretty difficult, and it is an issue. Having said that, a lot of companies are coming up with innovative programs to bring women back, and they understand the relevance of having women back in the workforce. Sometimes you may have to take a pay cut or a role that is not appropriate to your experience. But if you're confident of yourself, you can climb up the corporate ladder very easily once you get in. So there are certain sacrifices that you need to do even till now, but I think it's opening up. What can we do about it is, I think we need to acquire a lot of transferable skills as much as we can. We need to learn, we need to unlearn and relearn, because there are new skills coming up. And as you keep yourself abreast with what's happening in the market, it's easier to get back into the workforce. The other area that comes to my mind is women should think of entrepreneurship as well. We are very good at that. And given that we get an opportunity to work at our own pace, be a part of the movement that's trying to solve global problems, and be our own boss. There are a number of organizations and options to help startups. It could be in any space. It could be even chartered accountancy, as Dr. Rawat was saying. Everything is getting digitalized today. There is an opportunity to look at issues and then come up with relevant solutions as to how we can improve the lives of people around us. And entrepreneurship is one of the areas that we should all look into. It doesn't mean you have to leave your job. You can do it along with it and then see how it grows. And I would appreciate and want more women to think about it and come into the space as well.
Okay. So, Maluji, whenever we see people at the top like you, we could see a rosy picture only. We couldn't see the struggles you had, the fear you have overcome, or the failure faced by you. And then in our lives, when we face failure, we do not know how to face it. We start thinking like it is the end of the story and we cannot do it. So, what advice would you give to the next generation female professional or entrepreneurs?
Nisha, there is a lot that I can learn from the next generation, and I'm in awe with them. They are motivated, and there's so much to learn from the next generation. My advice would be to think big, start small, but move fast. If you really want something desperately and work towards it in all earnestness, you can achieve it. You just have to remember that careers are like journeys. Very rarely are they executed as planned. So most of the times they're full of surprises. Some are pleasant, some are unpleasant. Involves making changes and different choices as you go along. Having fun along the way, which is very important. Enjoying what you do, making friends, sometimes ending up frustrated. So it is a fabulous roller coaster ride. You have to be ready for all kinds of emotional feelings as you go along. It is never a rosy picture for any of us. We just have to go move on with it. If it is a corporate career, as well as I do, it is never a smooth sail to the top. And so far, we've never heard a single story where it's been very smooth. The first step would be to focus on what you're doing and do it better than anybody else around you. That would be the key. Get out of your comfort zone. Most of the organizations give you opportunities to try out something new. Different departments. You can try out innovation labs. You can try hackathons. Learn anything and everything and understand the whole business end to end, whichever profession you're in. That gives you an added advantage. Make your presence felt from day one. We normally tend to be silent spectators in meetings, although I guess we know the subject better than anybody else. So I think we need to speak and be vocal in meetings as well. And for girls and women in general, with regards to soft skills, I think communication, marketing, negotiation, networking are a few skills that we need to work on. If you want to start on your own, if you want to venture out, you need to be very passionate about what you want to do. Need the patience and the grit to sweat it out. And you need to remember that we only hear the success stories. For every success story, there are thousands of failures, and you have to be able to accept failures, and you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn as you go along. So I think there are multiple ways of doing it. It is a roller coaster ride, but enjoy it as you're part of it.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, when I was reading about your organization, I read that you work on this hackathons and thinkathons. So would like to know more about it. What are these? And what do we do exactly?
So these are programs where we pick up ideas, and what happens in a lot of times is you're passionate about a problem and you want to solve it. You have an idea. So if you get into a hackathon, the idea is you start to conceptualize, deep probe more into your ideas and come up with a way of addressing it in terms of coming up with a solution. So hackathon is coming up with a team, and you have people out there to help you out. So it gives you an opportunity to look into your idea and then come up and conceptualize a solution. Once you do that, there are many areas like the incubation. A lot of companies have incubators, which means once your idea is conceptualized, they will give you some opportunity to take it forward in terms of providing you space to be mentored. Sometimes you get seed money to take it forward, and so it is one of the ways to promote entrepreneurship amongst youth, amongst everyone.
Okay. So thank you so much. I am feeling totally charged up after having a detailed talk with you. And I'm quite sure that your story, your advice, your messages are going to help our professionals, especially our women professionals who are watching this show. So thanks a lot again, Malaji. I
Thank
strongly
you.
believe that women for women, women mentoring women is a very impactful concept, and it worked. We women are empowered. We make up, half of the population, and we raise another half. So having women mentors like you to charge us, to remind us of our capabilities and our energy is nothing less than a blessing. So thank you,
Thank you very
ma'am.
much, Nisha.
Thank
Really
you, Team
appreciate it. Thank
CASA.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Team CASA, for organizing this Women Achievers program, a beautiful concept. Thanks to all our viewers for joining us. Stay tuned for our next episode. Till then, bye bye. Take care of yourself and wish you a very happy new year.
Thank you, Nisha. Bye.
Thank you.